With just a month left to go in Trump's one-term presidency, he's attempting to surround himself with like-minded conspiracy theorists. Isn't that nice? I guess when you're the president, you get to do stuff like that. His latest nomination is a former fighter pilot named Scott O'Grady, who he nominated recently to become the Assistant Secretary of Defense for International Security Affairs at the Pentagon. In addition to mirroring the president's endless stream of baseless election fraud claims on Twitter, O'Grady has also joined the chorus of pro-Trump supporters that want him to declare martial law. So let's get into that. It's always nice on a Friday. On November 25th, O'Grady retweeted a tweet that said, quote, "Trump won and Biden and his cabinet and his comrades, Biden and his comrades will now attempt the coup," next to a photoshopped image of Biden beside Xi Jinping, the president of China. I don't know if this was the exact one, but this is from Lin Wood, so I assume it is.
Oh, hell yeah. That's just great. You love to see it. Love it.
So that's one. We're gonna go through these. This is who Trump is left to as his option.
This guy's gonna get elected. I mean, we laugh, but this guy's gonna get elected to Congress in 2022. Like, mark my words. Scott O'Grady, sponsored by like Jameson Irish Pub, Irish whiskey, is gonna get elected to Congress on this kind of platform. I promise you that. I'm betting on it.
It's so crazy. There's more crazy. On November 19th, O'Grady retweeted a tweet that falsely claimed Hillary Clinton and George Soros were involved in allowing foreign interference in the presidential election. False by your account.
Yeah. Do we know that they weren't involved? Yeah, come on. Of course,
it says it in the tweet, and the burden of proof is on whoever's reading this. On November 25th, O'Grady retweeted a baseless accusation that Brian Kemp and Brad Raffensperger, the governor and Secretary of State of Georgia, respectively, may be covering up information about election results in Georgia. And on November 27th, O'Grady retweeted the false claim that Trump won California, despite the fact that Trump lost the state by more than 5 million votes. So that is like the ones that he actively retweeted, but he has kind of affiliated himself by retweeting stuff from the account that Michael Flynn retweeted about martial law. He tips his toes in the martial law pool in support of Trump's elementary coup attempt. On December 2nd, he retweeted an account that shared an article that said former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn had shared a petition that called for martial law. He then retweeted the same account that suggested that Trump should declare martial law. Now, this is the account, but so he hasn't tweeted that, but all the other stuff, I feel like in any other administration would be absolutely disqualifying, right?
I mean, this is part of politics, American politics in 2020, which is that the inmates have taken over the asylum, and for decades, the Republican Party essentially kind of threw insanity at their base to kind of rile them up, while they themselves kind of read the Wall Street Journal and the Weekly Standard, which were like more sober, kind of conservative things, which were more based in reality and all this stuff. And they kind of allowed Fox News and right-wing talk radio guys like Rush Limbaugh to just sort of like rile up the rubes, to whip up votes for their very unpopular kind of platform in general, through like, things like racism, xenophobia, victimization and white identity politics. But now all of those people kind of grew up, and they've all now just taken power, and now they are the ones, they're reading all the same things that the rubes were reading in the past, and they believe all that stuff. I mean, there's people in Congress who believe all this stuff, and there's now people in the State Department who believe this stuff, and in the Pentagon who believe this stuff. I mean, it's like, like the Bush administration, as destructive and awful as it was, and it was incredibly like historically destructive and awful, like those people did not believe any of this stuff. They weren't like Alex Jones, fans, and like that's no longer the case. The inmates are running the asylum. So that's why I'm saying that this guy is gonna get elected to Congress. I'm calling it right now, because that's just American politics these days.
It's so crazy. And there's so many more examples. Like in a radio interview, he called former President Barack Obama and military generals sworn socialists and advocated the military justice system should bring back treason charges. He retweeted a tweet that called the former Defense Secretary Mattis a traitor. He, went after Lieutenant Vindman, basically a whistleblower, saying like, "That's it." It's crazy. On November 25th, he retweeted a tweet that asked if the COVID-19 virus was partisan, since it seemed to be disproportionately impacting Republican politicians over Democrats. And this goes to the heart of what you were saying, right? Like, it's not that that you're saying the science is partisan against Republicans. No, Republicans are actively arguing against science. That's why the science is against them, because they read it or they don't, but they definitely crumple whatever paper it was on up and throw it in the dustbin. And then, yeah, that's the causal mechanism, buddy. It's like, you can't be like, oh, I wonder why science is so against everything I'm saying. Yeah, because you're willfully ignorant, or worse, just stupid. But it's a cynical thing.
What is this guy? He's like a new nominee. Like, he's got like 3 weeks. Like, what's he gonna do?
Well, that's the big fear, is that Trump has gotten rid of a lot of Department of Defense people lately, and just wiped the slate clean. And the question you ask, the answer to it is terrifying. The answer to it could be that he is trying with all his might to at least get surrounded by people who would be fine with martial law and, quote, calling a revote. Is there anyone who thinks that if we had a revote, first of all, it's never gonna happen, you can't have it happen. But does anyone think that revote, look at other countries that are like, no, the military is gonna hold a vote for us. Do those ever turn out to be like, 51 to 49? No, it'll be like 95 to 4.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.